In the waning light of his life, Jacob, now old and weary, sensed the nearness of his journey's end. He called his sons, the 12 pillars of the future nation of Israel, to gather around him. His eyes, once sharp and discerning, now glistened with the wisdom of years and the moisture of impending farewell. "Come close, my sons," Jacob beckoned, his voice a mere whisper yet laden with authority and love. "The time has come for me to share with you the visions that the Lord has granted me, visions of your futures and the destinies of your descendants." Each son, from Reuben the eldest to Benjamin the youngest, stood in silence, aware of the solemnity of the moment. Jacob began with Reuben, his firstborn, acknowledging his strength and might but lamenting his instability and impulsive actions that cost him his birthright. He then turned to Simon and Levi, brothers not just by blood but also in their fierce anger and violent deeds. Jacob's words were stern yet sorrowful, foreseeing their descendants scattering within Israel, a consequence of their wrathful ways. To Judah, Jacob spoke with a tone of prophecy and promise. He envisioned Judah as a leader among his brothers, a lion-like figure whose lineage would produce kings, foretelling the coming of a ruler, Shiloh, to whom the obedience of nations would belong. As Jacob continued, each son received a blessing, a prophecy, or a caution. Zebulun was destined to thrive by the seashores, a haven for ships. Issachar's strength and willingness to bear burdens were noted, as was his tendency to seek ease and comfort. Dan's role as a judge and a cunning strategist was highlighted, yet with a warning of the potential danger he posed. Gad's initial struggles and eventual triumphs were foretold, while Asher was blessed with abundance and richness. Naphtali's blessing was poetic, likening him to a free and eloquent deer. Joseph received a profoundly heartfelt blessing, acknowledging his trials and steadfastness, his fruitful contributions, and the divine strength that sustained him. Jacob's words for Joseph overflowed with gratitude and pride, foreseeing immense blessings upon him and his descendants. Finally, Benjamin was likened to a ravenous wolf, a fierce warrior both in conquest and in dividing the spoils. As Jacob concluded, he reminded his sons of their lineage and heritage, urging them to remain united and strong. He then imparted final instructions regarding his burial, desiring to rest with his forefathers in the cave of Machpelah. With his last breath, Jacob drew his feet onto his bed, closed his eyes, and was gathered to his people, leaving behind a legacy that would shape the very foundations of nations and history. His sons, now bearers of his blessings and prophecies, would carry forward the mantle of Israel, each in their unique way, under the watchful eyes of God.